Are we live?
Yep. We jumping right
What's
into it.
going on?
Rap shit.
Oh
All right.
boy.
She don't believe in shooting stars, but she believe in shoes and cars. Wood floors in the new apartment. Couture from the stores department. You more like the love to start shit. I'm more of this trips to Florida. Order the hors d'oeuvres. Views of the water. Straight from the page of your favorite author.
That's Kanye West.
Okay.
And Miguel? No,
No.
it was Kanye West.
Name the song.
Is it Fat Fash? Yeah, that right. I don't know if I know the name of that song though.
So just say what you think it is.
Well, the chorus is flashing lights.
So what do you think it is?
Flashing lights.
There you go.
Flashing
You got it.
lights.
Lights. Yeah.
Burn. I wonder who produced that. It's probably him.
Probably. Do you want bonus points for the album?
Oh shit.
In my opinion, it's the best album.
Graduation. That was a dead giveaway.
Of course, it's a dead giveaway. Of course,
it is on Flashing Light.
It is. Yeah.
Interesting.
Let me tell you something. I know that album backwards and forwards. Like, it was the soundtrack to my, I want to say, like 10th, 11th grade year in high school.
Yep,
I used to listen to it every morning.
10th grade.
Every morning. Oh my gosh. It was absolutely phenomenal. Love that. If you are what they say you are, a superstar. Yeah. That album is a masterpiece. No skips.
Is Superstar, is that Lupe?
Oh, that is, yeah.
That is Lupe.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's Superstar.
Lupe.
That's Superstar.
But
Flashing Lights is completely different.
Yeah.
Take that out. Edit that out. Edit it out. But no, I think I got the two confused, not only because both choruses are sick, but if Graduation was like my 11th grade soundtrack to my life, then my senior soundtrack to my life was definitely Lupe Fiasco, the Cool album.
Oh, that album came out in 08, but it was
absolutely phenomenal.
It was fantastic. Yeah.
Loved it.
Every morning on the bus.
Me too.
Every morning.
Are you joking?
6 o'clock in the morning.
Are you being funny right now?
Are
you being funny right now?
Little Weapon? It's Little Weapon, right? No,
yes.
I'm dead serious. No. I used to listen. That was my music time.
No, seriously.
Those
on the bus?
15 minutes on the bus.
Oh, no. It wasn't 15 minutes on the bus.
Because you live far.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It was like,
we had stops,
30, 40 minutes on the bus in the morning. And I would just listen to the album.
But
it was everything.
Yeah, that's when I listened to hardcore dancehall music. And Graduation was on there
Graduation
too.
Was absolutely phenomenal.
I remember Graduation because we used to run, we used to do conditioning with the football team. And we used to run 2 miles every day after school because Josh was conditioning for soccer and I was conditioning for swimming.
Watching the kids condition for soccer was like torture. I was like, when
crazy.
Are you guys going to stop running? It's disgusting. Yeah. I ran track and I ran less than the kids who was conditioning for soccer.
I remember it
made no sense.
I have a specific memory of us sitting in the bus lane listening to Kanye West.
Oh my gosh.
When I think of that album, I go right to that
there, right to that very moment.
Tank tops, just finished running.
I think that's literally why it's so hard for us, why it took the better part of a decade for us to release Kanye, to just let him go, because he was turning us every which way but loose when it came to his music. It was just, I mean, bar none, absolutely brilliant mind and talent.
Artwork was crazy on there too.
Oh God, the post, that's back when album art, like when you got the actual CD, where people would take it out and literally put it up as a poster in there as a part of the collection. It was absolutely ridiculous. I still have my Graduation CD.
Yeah?
I still have a box of like all the CDs that I bought when I was in high school, and I still have it. Shits. it's never going anywhere.
No,
it's never going away. Oh my goodness! Say in the comments
below,
you guys, like,
what's
what's your favorite Kanye song? Okay, put in the comments below. Which one got you hemmed up? Okay,
that was a fire pick.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, welcome back, friends.
What's going on?
How y'all doing? Oh my goodness, it's been a week. Okay, it's been a week.
I was about to say, real. Dang, it's been a long. It's every week.
It really is. I couldn't wait to come back and see y'all, talk to my friends. Okay, how y'all doing? I'm so glad to hear it. I really am. Listen, if you guys don't know, or if you're new to the pod, okay, if your friend told you, oh my gosh, you should listen to this podcast and you're here, what's up? Welcome. It's a One Thing for Certain podcast, okay, where myself, Alia King, and my husband,
Kara King.
Kara King. We talk about all the things that married people like to talk about, which, for your information, it's just anything that we feel like talking about, honestly.
For the record,
let the record show we have been consistent on this. Okay, we've been talking about things we felt like talking about since I say circa
don't date it, you don't gotta date it.
2013. Yeah, circa 2013 for sure. Okay, so if you're into that, if that's your jam, come back and see us. Okay, tell a friend and tell a friend. Comment, like, and subscribe on all of the things. One Thing for Certain pod. Okay, come and hang out with your friends. Is the kids still doing this?
What does that mean? I wonder.
I think this is the twin thing.
It is, yeah.
Me and my twin, we be about. It was a TikTok thing.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, long before I got onto TikTok.
Oh, I don't have a TikTok.
Yeah,
the tiki-taki is not going.
The tiki-taks.
Yeah, I stopped with Instagram, guys.
Yeah, it'll get you.
And Twitter.
Yeah, you got to be careful for sure. Listen, y'all. Okay, but thank you guys for coming. And without further ado, we're gonna jump right into with our current obsession.
I think you should go first.
You want me to go first? Yep. All right, you guys. Let's not play any games. Let's not mince any words. Okay, my current obsession has been this election. I don't know about y'all.
As of this recording, this is the last day of early voting.
It's the last day of early voting. By the time this airs, y'all, we will have one day on Monday. When y'all see this, beginning of your work week to kick it off.
Oh, yeah, all right? Yeah.
When y'all get in and you're driving into your office and you said, let me listen to my friends, okay? You will have my anxiety in your ear, all right? Because my current obsession has been this election cycle. Of course, it's the 2024 general election where we will be picking our next president of these United States of America, where we have the phenomenal, illustrious, talented, smart, intelligent, competent, and capable Kamala Harris, okay? Madam Vice President.
Democratic nominee
and the dumpster fire that is her opponent, Donald J. Trump. I'm not listen, this is our podcast. I told you we talk about the stuff that married people like to talk about. Me and my husband. This is our opinion. If y'all feel some type of way, we tell you at the end of every podcast to go with God. So you can take it or leave it. But I said what I said.
This is not a
these are two
podcast.
American citizens who have the right to state their opinion however they want, okay? And I'm nervous, y'all. I'm shook. I'm scared. I am. I will be sitting up here lying to you guys.
The changing of power is always a little bit, obviously with this is different. I'm not trying to act like, but there's always a little bit of,
At the end of every election cycle, about half of the
4 years is longer than you think.
It is.
You get used to stuff.
About half of the population is always dissatisfied or disappointed or what have you, and is looking 100%. For change and something new to come in. I'm just scared. Okay, I really am. I am fearful for our future. And if you haven't gone out and vote, please go vote. Please just go vote. It's not going to take that much time. It is absolutely free. It is a privilege. Okay, and
it is a privilege
and a right. In other countries, I think in Australia, you must go vote. You have to. It is the law. You have to go vote. But here you have a choice, which is crazy because freedom isn't free.
Get into that later.
So please exercise your right to vote and make your voices known and heard. And hopefully, by the next time we come and see y'all, we will know who our president is. And like I said, I'm going to cry regardless.
I would hope we would. It may take.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I hope so too. I think last week I misquoted and said that in the 2020 presidential election, it took 2 weeks for us to find out. It was, I believe, it was confirmed that Saturday. Yeah, it was on Tuesday, and we had to wait till Saturday. It just felt like 2 weeks because I was watching the news day in and day out. I was listening to NPR.
And I think it was because it was a close race too.
It was incredibly close.
I saw a poll on Twitter that said 70% one way. The polling is like 70% one way and 30% the other. I won't say which one is which.
No, I'm not subscribing to anything. I'm not listening to none of y'all hoes.
But it made me wonder, like, when was the last landslide? Because it showed a particular color basically taking, like, there was only 4 states for the other color. Like, it was just a wash. It wasn't even close.
Wow. Okay.
And obviously it made me wonder. I wasn't even gonna say. I was like,
when was the last time that there was a landslide victory?
I wasn't able to. I think it was Reagan.
Damn.
I think it was Reagan. I know Thomas Jefferson had a landslide.
Damn, you had to go all the way back to the second president to find a landslide?
But once you start,
you can start going down the line. Especially you. You love a timeline, child. You love going down if he can look down the lineage and the historic references of things going back 100 years.
Nixon too.
He in there.
Nixon had he was a very popular president. I know all of the Watergate stuff.
Jesus.
Yeah, Nixon had one. Ronald Reagan had one.
All of the most racist ones had just so much support. Wow.
Oh, Abraham Lincoln too, landslide.
Usually wartime presidents. I mean,
they were in the middle of war when they were voting.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
and it was. I mean, the population. Fraction. Like not even.
Wow.
I mean, we're talking. States weren't even. There was only 13 states in the union at the time. Am I nerding right now? I think I'm nerding, but
that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, there was only like 13 states that voted.
We walk through museums, babe. And you nerding, I'm like, it's hot to me. I like it.
Anyway,
I made him blush, y'all. Yeah, but I scaled. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm nervous. So it's been on my mind. I've been listening to basically anything and everything you can about the presidential election. Neither one of them can sneeze, and I don't know about it. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I am ready for it to be over because the overall stress is exhausting of like just not knowing and, hanging on to every word of every little thing that one person says or someone else says on the other person's behalf or in reaction to whatever.
It's getting, they pulling out all the stops. Kamala has not, I feel like her plane has only like.
The carbon footprint is egregious for the both of them. Crazy. They both need to stop it. It's outrageous.
It's nuts.
The PJ is getting fueled in the air. Yeah, it is crazy.
I can't imagine. I mean,
it's on a nonstop like track.
It feels like Kamala is flying somewhere different every day.
So is he. They're like in different states in a day. Like 2 or 3 in a day.
Yeah,
it's insane. This is like her 5th time back in Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean,
in a month.
Yeah,
but they're revisiting all of the battleground states. Like, and there's 7 of them hoes.
Yeah, she's in swing states and battleground the same.
Yeah, swing states or battleground states. They're interchangeable. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting, man. I don't know. I think what I'm waiting for is like I just wanted the pulse in transition of power. Once it's been confirmed.
Yeah.
Not the pulse of the government, because the government's going to govern it.
Yeah.
Usually. We have about 300 years of history. Mm-hmm. Could change, depending on...
Yes, we know. Hence my stress.
But more or less, that will stay the same. But the people, though, I'm curious about what not the common people, but all of the outrage.
Well, we have a preview as to what would happen if.
I think that's where I'm kind of going. I'm like, I wonder how
the Cheeto Puff King wins. Like we know what's gonna happen
because
we saw what happened when he lost to an old white man. What you think gonna happen when he loses to a black woman?
Right. Yeah, and I said something I don't know if people have actually thought about it, but I said something about him, the other one potentially winning, and what that would mean as far as his like record, because
it's gone.
Well,
he will bippity boppity boop, but conviction. He was a felon.
He would have also beaten 2 women at becoming president. And I think that's a very for all of the people.
Can we get another charge for assault if he beats 2 women? No? All right.
Yeah, but it that just can't be true. 70-30 is just, it's not possible. So yeah, Lion Slayers, I there's a lot going on to sway people in all kinds of different ways. Like, it's crazy. Like, they're throwing everything.
This week I did a lot of traveling for work by way of driving through like 2 southern states, Tennessee and South Trump. Trump.
It's the South, man. It's the South.
Trump. It was too many to count. Handmade signs, Trump superstores, flags, bumper stickers.
And I wonder if, because I know that that's a thing, and we can move on after this. I know that that's a thing, but I don't know if that translates into votes more so than it does merchandise.
Right, sure. And
it just makes me wonder. It's like you put on all the clothes and stuff, and you go to the rallies, but I don't know if they're being electrified to go vote. Like, everything from the other side is all about not even necessarily Kamala, but just going to vote. Maybe Republicans don't have to do that historically because they always vote. But maybe. Who knows? We'll see.
Who knows? Listen,
I think it was
it's above us now.
I think it was 145 million people that voted, or 150 million people that voted in the 2020 election.
Oh, okay.
So I'm curious, and it was like,
that's still only half, like a little bit more than half the population.
And I think it was like 135 million people that voted in the Clinton versus Trump election in 2016. Jesus. So I'm curious to see if there's going to be a huge, a bigger.
Yeah, turnout. It will be interesting to see the numbers of overall participants. Yeah, but that's my current obsession. I'll stop spoiling you guys.
All right, so we're going to get into some music stuff. Well, Thug is free, y'all. I don't know. I'm just gonna say it. Thug is free, and you said something about freedom not being free.
Freedom is not free.
And this is hot off the presses. I think as of this recording, this is maybe like 36 hours ago. And so here's the terms of Young Thug's freedom. If you've been living under a rock or you just don't care about hip hop at all, or just Southern music at all. Young Thug was caught up in one of the longest running trials in Georgia for a RICO charge, which is racketeering influence criminal organization charge, federal. He was picked up 2.5 years ago from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation on behalf of the FBI or something like that. And also,
didn't they pick him up from his house?
Yeah, they picked him up from his house. Also a few weeks later, they ended up picking up Gunna, and they had 28 different people that was a part of this package to bury him under a jail.
Now, come on now.
Right? Saying that he was responsible for 70% of the crimes in Atlanta and all of these different things. And stuff like that. So this trial has been going on for a long time. It switched judges, I think, 3 times. Different things happening in the courtrooms with his lawyers, the prosecutors, and all this other stuff. Thug took a deal. He took a plea deal for the charges he had, and I'm just kind of overalling the thing. But this is his terms. So he went from 45 years. With 25 to serve, and he's going home, right? So here's the terms. 5 years with time served, time commuted. So he did 2.5 years. They're just gonna
we're gonna prorate the other 2.5.
You can cancel the other 2. Yeah. We're gonna give you time served, but that counts because you have to use a number. So
correct.
5 years, 15 years of probation. Now, probation in America, right? I don't know if everyone remembers. I know time is weird after, post COVID, but you remember Meek Mill was on probation for X amount of years, and he popped a wheelie in New York City and had an engagement with the police, and the nigga ended up back in jail.
Right back in jail for popping a wheelie
because he had an encounter with the police. When you're on probation, you're not supposed to have any kind of situation. You can't even
talk to the police. You can't tell them good morning.
And so that's one thing. He has to, if he violates his probation. One violation, he immediately has to serve 20 years in jail. Period. So okay. So 5 years of time served. So he gets out. He's out. The cost, though, You on probation for 15 years.
15 damn years.
15 years you on probation. If you break your probation once, you going back to jail for 20 years.
And we ain't looking at you.
For 20 years.
There's not going to be no appeals.
Right?
You going to go and sit down.
Here's some of the other stuff.
For 20.
He has to speak about gun/gang violence to kids 4 times a year. He has 100.
4 times a year.
4 times a year, every quarter. He has 100 hours of community service he has to do. His lawyer had asked for him to be able to. He's not allowed to talk to any of the people or any of the witnesses or anyone that was a part of the court. Any of the people that took plea deals out of the 28 people. He's not supposed to have any contact with them. That included Gunna, right? Mm-hmm. Who Gunna is signed to him, mm-hmm. right? So he asked that if he could engage with Gunna as well as his brother, because he works really closely with his brother. Mm-hmm. The judge allowed him to do that. Mm-hmm. So he's able to work with Gunna again, as long as Gunna is signed to him, which is another interesting thing. So if Gunna ends up leaving the label,
he can't speak to him anymore.
He may not be able to speak to him anymore.
God
right?
damn.
Okay. He's not allowed to throw up any hand signs. No more slat. No more none of that
slime?
Stuff. I don't know if he can say slime anymore. He can't.
He do that? Can he?
To me, that just reads, we are watching you really close to make sure you break your probation.
Play with it if you want to.
Okay. He can't use any drugs. Weed included.
He can't smoke weed?
Yep. He can't smoke weed. For 15 years, he can't smoke weed.
Oh, well
15 years, he can't smoke weed. So if he gets caught with a blunt, he's going to jail for 20 years. Think about that. He could be on 14 years and 11 months if he gets caught with a blunt. If he gets pulled over, okay? If he gets pulled over.
Can he have an edible?
If he gets random scheduled drug tests.
For 15 years?
Okay. Hey man, all right. He's obviously not allowed to own or be around any guns, right? And
he can't have guns.
He can't have guns.
And he can't be around.
And he can't be around guns. Okay.
What about his security?
Except for security. As long as he has hired professional security, it's fine.
All right, cool. Then I don't need a Thule. Cool. Let me just keep somebody on.
Here's another interesting thing. He is not allowed to go back to Metro Atlanta for 10 years.
Don't he litter?
No. Doug don't live in Atlanta.
He need to move out of Georgia then. Because if you telling me I can't avoid a city, I don't
know.
know.
None of them niggas
for
live
y'all
in Georgia. All them niggas with the big ass houses, 2 Chainz, and
they do live in Georgia.
They live in Georgia, but they live south, like away. They live in like
they usually
south.
live like in the north. Let me tell you something. Go on and move up to Tennessee. Okay, they got some nice houses up there in Tennessee, and Gunna can come and see you. Just get it. That ain't nothing but like a little 20 minutes.
I think the only
plane ride.
I think the only reasons why he could be in Atlanta is if it's for a funeral, like a wedding. I think he's allowed to like see his grandmother. Don't quote me on this, but other than that, he's
crazy?
Not going to
Atlanta keep growing. So what happened when they changed the so inside the 285?
Inside the circle, very very clear. It's not like one of these. That's another thing about Atlanta. It's a very clear, defined.
Right that little oblong, little raisin looking thing. Yeah, that's the 285. Be inside of there. Dang.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the terms that the prosecution and his lawyers. It was a plea deal.
He can't go to the high museums.
The
he can't go to the high.
Hey man, hey. So
one of my favorite places to go.
It makes you wonder, where does he go from here? But to me, the reason why it's my current obsession is because I think that if he succeeds at this, first of all, he didn't tell. Right? According to the street, if we're going to do street stuff, I'm not a street guy, but according to the streets, apparently, you go into a courtroom, you may have or may not have done stuff. Either way, you don't say nothing. That's street rules, right? You don't snitch. There was a few people that kind of got caught up in snitching and this and all this other stuff while this was going on. Again, it was 28 people. Mm-hmm. Don't know enough to speculate, but seems to be, based on the grams, that there was a lot of that going on. There was a lot of that going on in the courtroom and stuff like that. So Okay, I'm almost put my
Okay.
glasses like
Come,
this.
you better come on. Let's
Right?
go.
'Cause I don't want no problems.
Get into it.
I not slap.
Yeah, I know.
I pop.
I don't. So
I don't
you
do those
dad.
things. Yeah, I'm big dad.
You big dad. Okay,
Big
you
dad
pay
fan.
bills,
I
and
pay bills.
taxes.
So
You don't shoot.
no, I don't do that. So yeah, man, it's just an interesting thing because I feel like there's an opportunity here. People are being pessimistic because they think that he can't do it. Obviously, it's a deal with the devil.
It's incredibly difficult.
When I read it the first time, because it was a list of things.
What happens if somebody calls the police on his house for whatever random issue?
I don't know.
People act like, and I remember this happening when Meek Mills went through his thing. There was a lot of people who were speaking incredibly ignorantly
because they don't understand probation.
They have no idea.
Remy done told y'all about probation, bro. It's not a game, bro.
These people, and a lot of times I remember when Remy got out of jail, she had a curfew.
She did.
She needed to have her ass back in her home by 10:30 or something like that.
He has 48. I think he has like 28, 24 or 48 hours to leave. Like, cause he's out. He got out.
Yeah,
this morning.
He said, that's why I say he need to carry his ass out of the state of Georgia. I wouldn't even fuck with Georgia. No, I'm sorry. I know that's his home.
Go to Cali, bro.
Bro, get the hell up out of Georgia. Don't even. Too. That's what I'm saying. Go a state up. Go to Tennessee. Go right up there. Just right there.
I think he would do great in Florida. To be honest with you.
I don't care where. Just don't come back to Georgia. Just be be out for.
Because the other thing too, like after this,
he can't get no money in Atlanta too either. Any appearances or anything like that?
I think there has to be a conversation.
Unless it's approved by his PO.
Yeah, him working. Okay. If he's working, then maybe there's a conversation there. Yeah. Because that's all. Because the judge said that. He's like, I understand that this is how you make your money.
He's an entertainer.
So and shout out to the judge being so real judge like.
Yeah.
She did a really good job of it just felt like balance.
Yeah.
Like this was a group effort. To make sure that, because this 100 years, this nigga was looking at 100 years, bro. I need people to remember that he was looking at 100 years.
We never thought he would get out.
Hell, he's like, I said, come on, bro. They got him for 70% of the crimes in Atlanta or whatever they said.
He needs to go, like I said, he just needs to leave the state.
Yeah,
I would literally just go one state up. No need to worry about it. Just come out of Georgia.
Yeah, man. But shout out to Thug. The music is about to be great. I think.
I hope so.
If he pulls this off, it will be he may need a statue in Atlanta. If he pulls off getting this cleared,
not going back to jail,
off of being on probation for 15 years, I
think he need to just focus on getting his money.
That would be,
you know what I'm saying. If he decides to go
legendary.
on like a little tour, like, first of all, be with your family, celebrate, hug your loved ones, and get back to the grind because he got a lot of lawyer fees to pay for.
I think he's okay. He'll be fine.
Got a lot. That stuff is just spending.
Rich. Yeah, I'm right.
He has a lot of people that he's taking care of too.
It's true.
So it's like he's been in jail for 2 years, not being able to get any money. Like,
true.
So, there's that.
Yeah. The other thing too, just being banned from Atlanta, like it's an interesting thing because these Atlanta
song with Drake immediately.
These Atlanta rappers are built a little different in terms of like how much they love their city.
He just need to call T.I. and just be like, bruh, how do I stay up out of here? How do I stay out of jail? Because T.I. did it.
I think that he did do it. You're right.
T.I. did it. I don't know if he had no kind of probation like that, but there was a little minute when he was in and out, and he was in for a couple of years.
Yeah,
he was in. So yeah, it's not like it hasn't happened,
Yeah,
but
true.
You can't keep a black man down.
Yeah. The other thing, just real quick, is Halloween had just passed, and so I saw a collage or like a slide of a post on Instagram of Sierra and her different costumes that she's worn over the years. Phenomenal stuff. I mean, she is so talented. I'm gonna definitely post.
She's so beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
That shit is so fire.
This woman got 3 kids. She don't look like she had one.
Yeah, she dressed up as Naomi Campbell back in the day. I'll post the pictures up here.
Damn. Yep.
Then she got Cardi.
That's hard.
Right.
That's hard. Oh yeah, the Bitty Bitty Bomb Bomb. Yep. Selena. Yeah.
Come on, bro. Janet. Fire, bro. Like she wilded out. Nicki. And then
why that Nicki though? Why that Nicki?
Shout out to the different versions of Nicki.
Oh,
you feel me?
Yeah, that's somebody who's been playing Halloween.
And then she did Glow. And that's not even all of them.
Looking just like her too.
There's a video of her saying stuff like her. It's so funny. Like that's this from the little interview
Sierra,
where she was doing it. She's incredible.
She know how to. She stays like in the mix. You know.
She stays relevant.
She really does.
Dope.
Hi, Rolo. Hey, you want to say hi to the people? Something's up with Rolo, y'all. He's been sniffing and snorting. I ain't never seen a dog with allergies like this. I think him and his long little snout went sniffing and probably sucked up one of our son's crackers or something. He got it in his nose now. So if you hear a bunch of sniffing and snorting,
we apologize.
Whatever, we sorry. It's our dog. It's Rolo. He's going through it. You stay down, boo boo. Okay, down. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So
fire.
Those are my two.
I'm obsessed. That's fire. Excellent. Okay, so we got to get into This Is a Like or Love, and this is the final installment, okay? Because by now I'm tired of them, and if y'all tired of them too, then it's fine. We're gonna talk about this Love Is Blind season finale reunion. Okay, we're gonna get through this quick. Okay, Rolo, enough. Go sit down, baby. Go lay down. Okay, so Love Is Blind season 7 finale aired, and we gonna hit the highlights, okay? Tyler and Ashley. Now look at me. Single me out.
Single me out, self, or single her out?
Me. Didn't I tell y'all? Didn't I tell y'all?
Man.
Listen, if you don't know, let me be the one to tell you. Last week I told y'all, stop making judgments so quick on people's life that y'all don't know nothing about. Okay? You love being investigative journalists. Y'all love getting into people's business. Okay? Y'all want us to call this man everything but a child of God, said he was a deadbeat dad, that he lied to this woman in her face, da-da-da-da. And I remember looking at it and recognizing that the situation did feel a bit suspicious. It did feel like, okay, well, you were a sperm donor, or were you in a relationship with this person, or what have you. For those of you who didn't know, Tyler revealed to Ashley during their experience that he actually has 3 biological children. He told her that he had a same-sex couple friends who wanted to have children.
Yep.
He donated the sperm for that. After, they had their children, they split up, and his friend was was basically a single mom for a while and was having a difficult time, and he stepped in and helped. He revealed all of that to Ashley, and they revealed during the reunion that they were not ready to divulge all of the specifics about that situation. And so when she asked him the question, do they know what you look like? Do you know them kids? And he was like, no. That's the part that really got everybody doing the digging. They were like, well, how you know? How these kids don't even know what you look like? Da-da-da. And they revealed that was a fallacy. It was a lie that they said during the taping because they understood that it is not a typical situation, right? Where someone is a sperm donor, and most people don't know anything about sperm donor. I know I don't. I don't know what it's like to do that and what the, legal ramifications or what have you for that is. It was an odd situation. Now, most people can't understand that. When people don't understand things, they pass judgment on it, and they determine that they don't like it, and then they'll cast other judgment. To kind of alleviate that, that's where the fib came from. But of course, once your story is out there, you don't get to control that narrative anymore. And by the time of the recording of the reunion, they had been married
a year.
Almost a year. So let's say about 10 months, right? At the time that it was recorded, they probably had, from the time it was recorded to the time it was released to the public, 6 months of just bliss going on with their life. But of course, they're counting down and they're knowing that once this story gets out there, their world is going to blow up. And they revealed that. They were like, when we were in our little love bubble and the show wasn't out yet and we were just being married, everything was great. But then the story hit and these like people were digging into his kids, their parentage.
Bro, they posted the kids' birth certificates.
Their birth certificates. Children, babies crazy, who are not contestants on this show. These two people are contestants on the show, not these kids. Not the woman that he, donated his sperm to. Like, and so all of it got really blown out of proportion, and essentially people were trying to determine whether or not they were still in a relationship, XYZ. And Ashley looked y'all in your face and said, mind your damn business, okay? We are good. I know what I agreed to. I know who this man is. I love him. And while the situation may be different than, we anticipate or expected, this is a once in a lifetime love. And I'm not giving that up because of y'all's opinions. So mind y'all business. Mind y'all business.
And there hasn't been, I haven't seen anything about
them since. Right. No, everybody's quick to judge, but nobody's quick to apologize.
That's crazy.
Nobody will come out and be like, you know what, we wrong. We passed judgment. Y'all seem real cool. And I remember,
it's baffling.
I remember from the very first episode we saw, isn't that what we said? We were like, we don't even got to talk about them. They're good. They were the one couple that we knew for a fact was going to make it from the first episode.
And they tried to ruin it.
And y'all really tried to tear these two people down. Wow.
Oh, man.
Wow.
It's always interesting to see that happen in real time.
It really is. It's
like the swarm, and then
everybody just act like it didn't happen.
And then they're just the death.
So y'all not going to apologize? Y'all not going to say nothing about it? Y'all not going to say, obviously we wish them the best, nothing?
Because they called him everything but a child of God.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just like, damn.
So for all of y'all heathens, okay, who won't say it, we wish Ashley and Tyler nothing but the best, continued love and success. Okay, we are always going to root for Black love, and we hope y'all are just living and loving exactly the way y'all was intended to. We could tell from the very moment that y'all were talking to each other, we're like, oh yeah, they locked. It's a done deal. Next. Okay, so God bless y'all, God keep y'all, and y'all keep looking good. Okay, make some babies together this time. No donations. Okay, when you ready in God's time. Okay, next we gonna skip on to Hannah and Nick. Okay, we just gonna fast forward right to her.
You talking about Hannah Clone?
Hannah Clone. Let me tell you something. Hannah, she said, "Oh." Y'all gonna come and talk shit? Make sure y'all do it to my unbig back, okay?
Yeah, y'all gonna talk about my attitude, not my body.
If you gonna talk about something, talk about how good I look, okay? If you gonna call me a bitch, call me a fine one, okay?
She slimmed it down, boy.
She looked amazing.
She did.
She looked phenomenal.
Gotta give it to her.
She sure did. She came,
and that didn't look like no suck and tuck. No,
bro. It looked like she lost that weight.
Yep, she switched from football to basketball. She
did. She got her cardio in, baby.
Yeah,
she did. She got her cardio in, and she looked phenomenal. She really, really did. She looked like a pageant queen. What was unfortunate, I think, in the exchange between her and Nick, was that obviously she got a lot of bad reviews, I guess, on her attitude and the way she presented herself and how blunt and direct she is and how that came across during her time on the show. And it seemed like she was like, if I'm going to go down, I'm not about to be down here by myself.
That's pretty much, yeah.
And she said, I'm going to drag Nick to the rock bottom of hell where everybody else kicked me.
And why Nick got to be a part of that?
Well, because she was like, I'm not about to be ugly by myself. I'm not about to be like a piece of shit by myself. There was two of us in this relationship, and she just wasn't willing to take 100% ownership of how people received.
What's that girl name?
How she was. Marissa?
Yes.
Yeah, her little best friend who was sitting there caping for her. I said, don't you have your own problems to defend yourself for?
It was right after that.
It was. She couldn't wait to jump on this white woman's coattails. I'm like, why are you defending her like this? And the part that was so funny is Marissa was like, I mean, yeah, we all know that, like, Hannah can be mean. She was mean to me too. But Nick, you were also, and I'm like, wait, so you're going to defend somebody who was also ugly to you?
But girls are gonna stand up for girls, because all them girls said, yeah, Nick, you suck.
Well, no, okay. Basically. So here's what I will say it's one thing if just Hannah was saying it because she didn't want to be the only one who was stuck in Boo Booville, okay? But it's the fact that one by one, Marissa basically was like, didn't you hear him say that? Didn't you hear him say that? She literally was running down the line because for a second, Nick was doing a real good job at gaslighting these two bitches. He was like, that never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. I think Hannah's a wonderful person. Like, this nigga was like, it's like he had.
Well, tell me when.
Tell me when I said it.
Who said it? Who did I
have this conversation with? What happened? Then tell me who. And eventually, like once one domino fell.
Yeah, Ramses folded.
Ramses folded first. No, the first person to fold was Stefan. Because Marissa asked Alexandria and Monica. Is that her name? The one who looks like a newscaster? Yes. Monica. She asked the two of them. She was like, Didn't Nick say that Hannah looked like a grenade? Didn't he say that he didn't like, her appearance? And they were like, yes, we remember him saying that. And Nick was like, who? When did I say it? Who did I say it to? Blah, blah, blah. And Monica was like, Stefan told me. He was like, so you heard it from Stefan, but you didn't hear from me. So what is this? And then he asked, he was like, Stefan, is that what I said? Stefan said, yes.
Ask me like I'm Stefan.
Stefan, did I tell you that Hannah looked like a grenade?
Yes.
That's
MVP of the reunion, by the way.
Let me tell you something.
I have no notes.
No notes for
Stefan,
him.
I wish you the best, sir.
Hey, let me tell you something, you 1/8 nigga, you. Let me tell you something.
Stefan crazy, bro.
Listen, when he had the floor, he had it.
He had it.
He had the floor. So we're going to get to him.
Sorry.
But yeah, to wrap up Nick and Hannah.
I hate the way they did that. They tried to roll over Nick like that. And
they really did. And they succeeded. He held them off for a second. And then finally when Ramses folded, he was like, Nick, there has to come a time where you like take accountability for your actions. You just have to be honest with it. And Nick was just like, bruh. I still don't even think he said it. He said that.
I don't think he did.
Mm-hmm.
However,
he said, I'm gonna die with this lie.
So you mean to tell me that because he said that, Hannah was just allowed to do all of the to me it was a red herring. Even if he said it or not, does not. It wasn't pales in comparison to the
Hannah acted
like abuse.
Yeah, this woman accosted him every single second of every single fucking day, and everybody wanted to run over it because apparently, and they did this last season as well, the villain of the show, they did it with
Zanab.
They did it with Zanab. Okay, Zanab. They did it with Crimson Chin. What was her name? The one who thought she looked like Megan Fox.
Correct.
Yes.
I don't remember her name, but yes.
Yes, Crimson Chin, and they did it with Hannah. Every single time
they did it with the other girl, the tall girl that was with the dude that was with the guy that was sitting next to AD. Remember the girl he was engaged to, who was fighting and stuff, and she ended up leaving him for that shorter guy. Isn't that the same show?
No.
Oh my gosh! And they had the reunion, and she was supposed to be there, and she didn't go. And then it was her and what's the host, the lady host that had the little interview, and she wasn't
with the
even
curly hair.
Yeah,
she was with the curly hair. Yeah.
She was interviewing her.
She was crazy. She was crazy.
Yeah, she was calling that dude all his name too.
Yeah, there were 4 different women we can think of.
Bruh, come on, bro.
The producers tried really hard not to like pile on to any of the women.
That's grounds to stop watching the show. I ain't gonna hold you.
You said that a number of times because they don't hold the women accountable because I think they just don't want to look like they are like berating and accosting, women.
Yeah, but these women, specific women be wilding.
But you don't have to accost women, to berate women or to make generalizations about women and try not to make it seem like you're bullying them or something like that. That's one thing. I do think that people should be careful about that. However, I do think people should be held accountable for their actions. We are talking about specific incidents in which you
on recorded TV.
We saw you, we can see you, we can hear you. When she told that man, I turned you from a boy into a man, they never even talked about it. But you know what they did talk about? A note that Nick wrote in his notebook from months before.
But am I tripping? Didn't Hannah write
She said yes. She had her own notes about Nick, and nobody wanted to talk about that. So it's just very one-sided whenever they come to these reunions, right? Whenever the women act a monkey,
I'm just asking them to ask them about the things that
keep that same energy.
That's it.
My thing is like when the dudes fuck up, y'all don't have no problems giving them the third degree, okay? Running them through the ringer, asking them 21 questions.
Even if when they don't, shout out to Tyler.
But when women show they tails and they act a monkey on this show, they never ever want to press them on
pillows, man.
They never want to press them on it, and it's really annoying because to me that's where the juicy part is when you get to like when you really get to investigate a person's behavior and you get to ask them, like when you volunteer to be on these shows, we have to figure out like what would lead you to say something that stupid.
What I will say is, I'm thinking about it now, they only do it when it's two women and there's two women that have an issue.
Okay.
That's when they ask they
give me an example. When was the last time that happened?
Who is it? Amber, the one that we like from like 4 seasons ago?
Yeah, literally from season 1.
That was
Amber,
a setup.
and I want to say Jess or Jennifer, something like that. Her name started with a J. But they actually brought her back for the reunion. When I tell you I did not recognize that white woman, I said, "Who is this?
Yeah,
who is this? I don't know who she is." She came back with a baby and a son and a husband and everything. And they spent a good 5 minutes on her, and I said, "Who is
they gave her a
this
slideshow.
Woman?" They sure did give her a slideshow. We got to see her wedding. I said, "Who is this woman?"
I don't know who she was, but yes, when Amber ran down on her,
oh yeah,
that was
she
a
sure
setup.
did.
That wasn't no random thing on the reunion.
No.
They asked.
They said
about that.
So when she went back to Barnett and asked about, potentially rekindling their relationship, how did that make you feel? She cussed ass
and
out.
there was a few. What was it last season where one of the girls broke up with a guy because I guess it was like another girl, he ended up doing like jet skis with the other girl or something. They were supposed to be friends. And then at the reunion, they had to hash that out.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah,
that was last season. That was last season,
bro. Like, so when it's two women, they let it go. But if it's a woman,
if it's a woman and a guy,
bro,
they're gonna press the dude, and they're not gonna hold the woman accountable whatsoever.
They totally tried to flip this shit.
They did flip
to where Nick is
Nick is the villain. Yeah, when we watched that man get his balls severed from his body every single day. From dealing with Hannah.
Doing all right, bro. You know what I'm saying?
What was it? The guy who's with our brainy couple.
Oh,
beautiful and
beautifuler. Garrett and what you call it?
And Taylor.
Taylor, yeah.
Yeah, Garrett and Taylor. Garrett was like, you showed a lot more patience than I would have.
Speaking of Garrett, hey man,
come on, this head of hair.
Garrett
came in.
He's like, I will be Superman.
Let me tell you something. Garrett came in looking like the brunette Prince Charming from Shrek. He did. He came in with a coif. I said, "What is this?"
Okay, bro.
He was looking good. Okay, they had Taylor in her Wonder Woman fucking bronze helmet thing that she could barely sit down in. Everybody looked great. So let's fast forward to Stefan. I keep calling him Stefan. Is it Stefan or Stefan? Stefan. It's not nearly as cool as Stefan. Okay, Stefan. Stephanus is a quarter black name. Okay, Stefan. He on the floor. When I tell you, he got on there and
it didn't start that way. It was a because
it was getting ready to be a lashing because Monica was not finna have it. She wasn't. Stefan, and they asked him like, so what did the text say? Like, why were you talking to her or whatever? He was like, I can get into it, but
there's no point.
There's
I think
no point.
Nick Lachey is the one that asked him. He's like, but I want to know. And he was like, Nick, honestly, he broke the fourth wall.
Yeah,
that's why I from the minute he did that, I said he wins.
Yeah, he did.
He wins the game.
Because when I tell you could hear a pin drop when he did his 5-minute monologue as to why it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter how much work he's done, how remorseful he is, how forthcoming and how truthful he is in the retelling of what happened,
and how long it's been.
And he's like, and how he recognized that in that moment he did mess up, that he was wrong. He took accountability for it. He apologized, and basically every time he said that, Monica chimed in and she was like, because for example, he said that like after I did what I did, I You asked me about it. I was truthful about what happened. I gave you your space. I left immediately. I even wrote a letter to your parents, and she was like, did you write a letter to my parents to just so you could say it right now in this moment? And he was like,
no,
that was over a year ago. Why would no one has that level of foresight. I did that because I thought it was the right thing to do. He was like, but it doesn't matter because you guys have already decided that I'm lying.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter that I recognize that I made a mistake. It doesn't matter that I've been going to therapy ever since for the work, doing the work on myself.
I haven't
being
texted that person again.
Not texting that person ever again. Recognizing, the pattern of behavior that I have and trying to overcome those things. It doesn't matter because I'm a liar. And anything I say after that is just a lie. And then Nick was like, well, I want to know. And then he started to explain, how it actually came about. Who it was.
Fetish.
He was texting someone that he had never actually met in real life. They had been corresponding back and forth with somebody that he follows on Instagram who DM'd him. They got into a conversation. The person allegedly switched the conversation from what they were talking about to fetishes.
Which was the sleep testing.
Yes.
And then
they started talking about fetishes, and he was like, and out of curiosity, he was like, well, what do you mean? And then they started talking about fetishes. He recognizes that, okay, this is probably an inappropriate conversation, and then ends the conversation. He never locks his phone. He was upfront about that from the beginning. So when Monica went through his phone, she saw the messages, asked him about it. He told her the truth. Obviously, he knew it was effed up, and it was the end of that.
Yeah.
And he was like, to be called a piece of shit, to be dragged across the internet for one mistake that I did, and never repeated again, never spoke to that person again afterwards. Yeah. It's a bit much,
Yeah.
And so everybody was just sitting there with the.
Yeah, after he was done, they just had to move on.
They just had to move on because everybody knew that he was right.
He was right.
What he was saying was right. To condemn somebody for a mistake, that it's not like he was caught having sex with this woman. He was engaged in an inappropriate conversation that ended. He was found out, and the person that he was involved with decided not to continue the relationship, which is fully within her right. If that's a boundary that he crossed, is understandable, and I don't blame her. However, to make it seem as though this person is disgusting and the scum of the earth is a bit much.
Crazy.
Is a bit much. We've all engaged in conversations where it probably went a bit too far, and you're like, maybe I should stop. So anyway, was that.
Who's left?
I just want to hit on Andrea and Alexandria and Tim real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. That entire exchange, to me, frankly, was just really sad. It was really sad to watch. I was listening to it the entire time, and I was like, we are watching two people who, frankly, will just never see. They are not compatible. They thought they were compatible. They are not.
Yeah.
I personally believe, this is my personal opinion, I think Tim has really good qualities. However, I think he has a level of expectation for what his wife is supposed to be and what she's supposed to do in his head, and his inability to deal with the disappointment of reconciling that the person that he is in love with and the person that he thought he was going to get as a wife, not being able to reconcile those two identities is really difficult for him. Really difficult for him. And I actually think it's something that a lot of people struggle with. When you have a set of check marks that you are hoping someone will come in and fulfill, you will always find yourself disappointed. Because marriage and loving someone is not about them fulfilling a role in your life. It's about
Hannah.
everyone, okay? It is about loving that person as who they are, right where they are.
And growing with them too.
And growing with them and loving with them and developing with them. The person that you fall in love with on day one is not going to be the person that death will do you part from. Those will be two completely different people. You will be You should be. They should be. You will be a completely different person. And being in love and growing through life with somebody is about finding someone and constantly deciding every day that I still choose you to be the person I'm going to go through life with. It's not about them fulfilling a role in your life. If you want someone to fulfill a role, go to ZipRecruiter, okay? Go to Indeed, because it's not a job.
Yeah.
It is not a job. It can feel like a job, but this is a partnership. And it just seems like she was constantly missing the mark for him, because he would keep saying things like, as my wife and as my fiance, I feel like you should do this, that, and the third. Or I'm just trying to do this. As my fiance, you should pick up the phone. And it's just like, you should probably take some time to recognize who you think you are to someone in a relationship. I don't remember ever hearing her condemning him for who he was or was not to her. But it was always like that when he was criticizing her. And when he said, and his reaction was so big every time they engage and have a conversation, I feel like there's a lot of work that he needs to do on himself. I'm not saying there's not any work that Alexandria needs to do, but I felt like the biggest disconnect was in how he perceived who she thought she should be for him.
I think that sad is the right word.
Yes.
I think that there are two perspectives of the experience that they have that just differ, very different. Like, it's just very different. When what you see through her eyes is very different than what he saw in his eyes. The good, the bad, the arguments, the dispute, the thing with when they were in the bathroom and they were trying, like, the perspectives is so different.
Yes.
And
they could not see eye to eye.
When you listening to them talk, I think it's unfortunate because they really do believe their perspective.
They do.
And they're not willing to let go of it. So we're never gonna know the truth. It's not that deep.
No one ever wins.
But there isn't any conceding there. Like,
no, neither one of them conceded. And even like they were going back and forth for a while, and finally Vanessa was like, okay. So it's just clear that you guys...
they didn't talk for a year, by the way. That was the first time they talked.
That was the first time they spoke to each other. And she was saying, like, maybe you guys should talk about this offline because there still needs to be some closing. He was like, no, I'm not talking. And she was like, he hasn't spoken to me in a year. And she was like, I do think there needs to be another conversation, but that's not going to happen. Because he won't come to the table. When he said, I never want to see you again, I was just like... And that's something that he never answered. When she was like, you played in my dad's face. You asked my father for permission to marry me. He opened his heart to you and said that that you are now a part of our family. And that what we didn't see on camera was that after that, on their way home, she said 3 hours later, you revealed to me that you were having doubts. And the very next day is when they had, when his parents came over. So that adds a little bit more context as to probably why she didn't answer the phone when he called, or XYZ. She was like, I didn't want to talk to you. You revealed to me that you were having reservations about marrying me after that huge heartfelt exchange that you had with my dad. And she was like, was any of it real? He never answered the question. Oof. And I was like, that's the one thing that I feel like he has to take accountability for.
Oh, yeah.
What was that switch up? Because that's deranged. To say that much, to be able to switch. He can perform really well. Like when it comes to deference and respect and things like that, he can perform really well. But when it comes time to being held accountable for the switch up, he has no good thing to say. He just keeps rambling on and on about how she's disrespecting him by not staying awake for his parents. And it's like, but you literally made my dad cry and then told his daughter that you never wanted to speak to him again 2 days later. Who does shit like that?
Yeah.
And he has to be able to stand on that. And that's what I would hope that he takes some time to really like think about. So anyway, wishing the best for both of them individually. But Yeah, child, that's pretty much the how. Oh, do we have to talk about Ramses, Marissa?
Well, if we talked about Tim and what you call it, we
Yeah, let's just hit Ramses and Marissa real quick.
it's not even that
Ain't really
difficult.
much to talk about. Poor Marissa.
Yeah,
She
that's
was
it.
sad. Ramses came in there looking like the Mad Hatter.
Because of his
Okay.
pants.
Not just his pants. He had on some mesh spider web black crop top thing.
Let that man fashion,
underneath
bro.
his blazer that was oversized and all of his weird jewelry. He is just a peculiar looking fella. He also gets his eyebrows arched, I can tell. Just peculiar. He's just a very eclectic kind of
What's
guy.
What's wrong with that, man?
No, there's nothing wrong with him. Just like he doesn't dress. Everyone else was dressed in a certain fashion. I
don't know. AD had two. Was it AD that had two X's on it, or was it Ashley?
It was Ashley. Yeah, she had two spider webs on the top of her. She had two spiders sitting on the top of her shoulders like such, and I was like, why did they put that on her?
It's a lot.
Yeah. But that whole exchange was just.
It was the same thing from the episode, pretty much.
It really was. It was just him apologizing and not making eye contact and saying, lots of things like, reconcile and yeah, because when you really think about the dichotomy and the issues within a relationship, when I thought about my energy coexisting with her energy, I just it wasn't sustainable for me. It would just be a condition in which I was constantly overwhelmed. And long term, I just didn't see that as being something that I could move forward with. Also, on the issue of contraception, I understand, to have to listen to
apologizing like a politician, bro.
Oh God. Oh, I understand. We came up with it. I wasn't just whining and da. Well, that's what it sounded like,
Child,
bud. That's just what it sounded like.
That's new magic that should be old magic. As in, why are you talking about?
Just shut up.
Don't stop talking. Unless you were Donald Trump, shut up about
Stop
it.
Talking about women's bodies, their contraception, and
I only say Donald Trump because he seems to be the only person that is impenetrable on the planet for not getting in trouble for none of the shit that he says. So. If you're not him,
he said we're going to take care of women's reproductive rights whether they like it or not.
Yeah, and y'all said vote. Not y'all, but
some of y'all vote. There are women who vote for him. Are you joking,
saying, bro? So if you're not him, bro, like especially black men,
just stop talking about it. Shut up.
Don't say a word.
You don't have a uterus.
Yeah, leave it alone. You're not winning that.
I can't talk about testicular health. I don't know anything about it.
Nor do you care to.
I don't.
Right.
I don't. Good Lord. Anywho, so that's what happened. Ciao. I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, and then it was the other 25 minutes of the reunion was filled with like things that they just never done before. They basically gave us season 8 in 10 minutes. They basically gave everyone who was going to be a part of it.
They
gave them all the profile slideshow.
Yes, they
from
did.
PowerPoint. And then they just revealed
it. They said, and your new contestants are.
I think they played the first 10 minutes. I was like, bro,
what's going on? They played the trailer of Love Is Blind season 8, honey. I said, damn.
And normally what they would do is do the other shows. So they would stagger them. They do Love
Is
Blind.
Ultimatum.
Would have loved it if it was that.
What's the other one?
And then Perfect Match.
Yes.
Like,
that's right.
Do the alterations.
No,
I don't know why they
right into it.
Nobody want season 8 right now. After you can't watch. That's gonna make the show do good. You can't watch that 2 seasons back to back like that. You cannot do that.
They already have the other countries and stuff.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Go to the ultimatum. It's been a year and change since we had the ultimatum. Go to the ultimatum.
I think people over the ultimatum. I think the first season they were like, "Oh, this is great," but then
first season was fire. Remember that black girl that?
Sure do. Sure do.
She was crazy, man, but she won.
She was fine. She won because she was cute.
She won cute.
She won because she was cute.
Cute is better.
Anywho, y'all,
I think that might be it, man.
Child, we was talking about that Love Is Blind, honey.
Yeah, we are kiki on that.
They hemmed us up, so that's what we gonna give y'all.
Yeah, this is what we got today, bro.
That's what we got. That's what's in the tank, honey. Okay, if y'all still with us, thank you. We appreciate you. Come back and see us, okay? Follow us on all of the things. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend to come and check us out on the One Thing for Certain pod. Look for us on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts, okay?
Yep.
And with that, we will bid you all adieu. No matter where you go after this, go with God, okay?
Go with God.
Peace, y'all.
Deuces.